we had to show you this video. It's deeply disturbing. I mean, it was sort of chills up the spine disturbing. There is a show up in Quebec in French Canada hosted by a woman named Julie Snyder. And they brought on some kids to talk about mandates and vaccines and what should happen to people. And, well, just listen.
Au vaccin, vous autres?
Oui, tous les deux, on a une seule dose.
Ah oui? Puis est-ce que vous êtes d'accord, vous autres, avec la vaccination obligatoire?
Oui.
Oui?
Oh.
Ah oui, hein?
Wow. On dirait que je les ai drillés, Julie.
Oui. Puis qu'est-ce qu'on devrait faire avec les gens qui veulent pas se faire vacciner?
On devrait appeler la police.
Ouh!
Oui.
Oui. Oui!
S'ils n'ont pas leur vaccin, ça peut mettre beaucoup de personnes en danger. Fait que comme le gouvernement est en train de faire en ce moment, il faut leur couper petite chose à petite jusqu'à temps qu'ils se tannent puis qu'ils se fassent vacciner.
En tout cas, on a des futurs politiciens à côté de nous.
All right. I mean, you see what we've done to children? Okay? So I don't know everything about those kids individually, and I'm not making it about those kids. And let's not have anyone dox those kids. I know my audience would do that kind of thing. But do you see what we have done to children? Do you see what we've done to society? The adults cheering them on. Yes, yes, call the police, arrest them. Do you see what they're doing to society? There was a couple things in there. First off, this idea, guys, as children, as experts, is so deeply dangerous. One of the things that this reminded me of, actually, was after the Parkland shooting. You may remember the Parkland shooting of about 3 years ago at Parkland High School here in Florida. My friend and colleague now, Kyle Kashuv, was one of the students at Parkland. And if you remember, all of the kids actually who became anti-Second Amendment advocates, they all got on the covers of all the magazines and they all went on all the TV shows and they did their town halls on CNN where they attacked Dana Loesch and Marco Rubio and everything else, and they constantly were propped up by the media. Then Kyle eventually, as the one kid who came out of it in a public sense as a Second Amendment advocate, he sort of made a name for himself through more conservative media, let's say. But this idea that kids should be thought of as experts is so insanely dangerous. That's not to dismiss anything that these kids have lived through as their parents have put them in masks, as they've been forced to inject themselves with things. It's not to dismiss anything that the kids at Parkland or any other shooting went through. But because you're involved in shooting doesn't mean you're an expert in guns and gun safety and the Constitution and our God-given rights, et cetera, et cetera. So they bring these kids on. They say the most authoritarian, crazy things. Their brains are not yet developed. How old were those kids? Maybe 7? Something like that? Like, they don't have all of the faculties to really think through the issues. Oh, if you do the thing that the state doesn't want you to do, call the police. Yeah, let's get these people out of society. This is seriously Nazi youth type stuff. I am sorry if that offends you or bothers you. But Nazis didn't just show up one day. We all know this. They didn't just show up one day, and it wasn't like a society was perfectly healthy one day, and then this Hitler guy showed up, and then it was like everyone went bananas and was calling the police on their neighbors and being like, yeah, let's get those people into the trains, right? These things happen slowly. You remember that video I played of Jordan Peterson talking about this, that this is how authoritarians move. You just change things every day, little slower. People stop asking questions, stop pushing back. And then there's people like Don Lemon who don't want people to ask questions, don't want them to do their own research, et cetera, et cetera. And now they have infected the brains of children so that children want to call the police on people who don't want to do the thing that they want them to do. Do you think this is dangerous stuff? Has this thing gotten completely out of control? And yet it is pushed. And I would recommend to my friends, I know we have a lot of viewers in Canada, and I know Canada is a mess, and I've got at least 3, I think, Canadian friends. Well, I have a couple of Canadian friends who've already moved here to Florida, but I have at least 3 other friends who are considering it right now. It's like, it's not going to get fixed there. You guys don't have states' rights. Justin Trudeau is out of control. Your media is funded by the government. Like, it's bad news. You should get out. You should get out and find a better place to live because they're telling you what the next generation is going to think. So if you think this generation of moronic leaders like Justin Trudeau are bad, what do you think that 7-year-old kid is going to be like in 20 years when he's 27 years old and he's angry and he's pissed and the world was destroyed? And he won't even realize that it was the ideas that he was fed that destroyed the world. And now he wants more power. And he realizes that he can use the police to arrest people who do things that he doesn't want them to do because that's the power that has been given over to the state. I think we got a problem on our hand. Get out of Canada.